You are listening to the We'd Like to Announce podcast with Derek Joseph.
This crowd is going crazy! I'm going crazy!
And Aaron Monson.
It's a fake punt, and they find Deion Henley, who catches it, and he's at the 30!
The We'd Like to Announce podcast starts now.
All right, welcome to yet another edition of the We'd Like to Announce podcast with Derek Joseph and my good partner over here, Aaron Monson. And joining us today is one of my favorite guys on the whole planet. This guy is a huge, avid Washington State sports fan, Seattle sports fan, Portland Trailblazers fan, all of that good stuff. And honestly, one of the most hardest working individuals I know, sporting a really great mustache at the moment, and he's so good, he has 3 names instead of just 2. This is, ladies and gentlemen, Gunnar Scott Miller.
Thank you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, yeah. Good to have you, Gunnar. How have you been?
I've been pretty good. Just been dealing with school. Been working a lot. Glad to be on here. You know, I've never really been a guest for a podcast, so I'll do my best. But no, it's great to be here, and I hope we have a lot of good topics to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, just the way we start every show. Gunnar, if you haven't listened to this show before, I don't know if you have, but
you have to leave if you haven't.
Yeah.
Well, I've listened to I'd probably say probably halfway through one.
Hey,
Ep 1.
I love it. That's perfect. Ep 1, yeah.
Ep 1 was a classic.
Ep 1 was a good one.
But Gunnar, Aaron and I like to always start off our shows. If we have something on our chest that we would like to talk about in the sports world, or even just like the regular world in general, we like to just let it all air out to start the podcast. So if you have anything like that in your world that you would like to get off your chest, the floor is yours.
Maybe about a certain profession that you might consider yourself a part of at the moment that you've had to bear witness to a lot of lately.
I mean, not if we're getting obvious, yeah.
Yeah.
I work with the WSU football team. I'm a primary coach's film camera for them. I work every practice, every game. I do a lot of work for them. And, yeah, I know we started the season off 4-0, and we've been 0, I think, 6 now.
Yep.
Since being 13th in the nation. It's been tough. It's been really tough on our guys and all that stuff. And I think, I look at, the announcing gurus chat, and, I get speculation, but, as someone now, because, when I was a fan, just strictly a fan and not an employee, I would fall under that speculation too. And I look at some of the things that are said, and I'm like, man, these guys do not know what they're talking about. And that's something that is something I needed to get off my chest for a long time. And I'm not going to say that in the chat. I respect every one of those individuals. They stepped through this university before me. They know a lot. But as someone who actually works in the reins of the football team, I have to say they do not know what they're talking about.
Oh, that's funny.
But I get speculation. It's fair to speculate, after going 4-0 and then going 0-6, and it's after the bye week, and everyone's like, man, something happened that bye week. Bro, I will tell you right now, I worked in that bye week. I was there at the team meetings, I can promise you nothing crazy happened. But, I mean, it does raise speculation. During the bye week, there was all that speculation that, did Dicker interview for that job for Michigan State? And I don't even know that. So
did he interview for a DC spot? Is that like a rumor going around or something?
The rumor is the head coach job at Michigan State.
No way.
Yeah, the head coach job. That was the biggest rumor. And I even try to talk to my bosses about it, and they won't even tell us. So there's that too. But when I see comments that are he's lost the team, I can promise you no. I'm not allowed to say the specifics of what goes on in team meetings before games, but I can tell you they love their coach.
Yeah,
and they will play hard for Dicker, and the emotions I saw after the Cal game, it was tough. So
right.
I mean, those players want to win, and I mean, especially Josh Kelly, man. You see the stats he put on. I think,
dude,
I want to say it was 163 yards and a touchdown. I mean, I know he kind of caused that. Well, he didn't cause the fumble from Camp, but he didn't jump on it. He thought the play was dead. So that could fall on him. But man, our receiving core and we play hard, and I know our defensive guys do too. It's just been tough. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like every game it just hasn't gone either, both offense or defense. One is clicking and the other is not. And this game, it was just kind of a mixture of both. I know we did score like 39 points, but it was like, I don't know. It was really shaky, and Cam Ward had like 3 turnovers and caused 3 touchdowns, like for Cal on those drives.
It's insanely frustrating. And since you like worked there and you've worked there all season, like this is your first year doing it, but like, is it hard to like make that separation as an employee versus a fan? Because I know obviously you're a diehard fan, like, or does this kind of like open up a new perspective as a fan more so?
It's opened a lot of perspective for me, because I know you guys have seen me watch the Hawks. You guys have seen me watch the Trailblazers and the Kraken. I'm a very immature sports fan. I'm very pessimistic and stuff. And working for the team has made me understand like everything that actually goes into making a collegiate football program. And it's just kind of tough, that like I genuinely believe we have one, like if our roster plays to their abilities, like you saw in those first 4 weeks, we are one of the best teams in college football. Yeah. And it just hasn't been working like that. And you see and it's not even just us, it's Colorado too. It's like this point after week 4, everyone's like, oh, the Colorado game and Pullman's going to be insane. And both teams are in a losing streak. I think that meme that was sent in our chat couldn't describe it any better.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. For those who don't know, it was a meme of like a WWE promo for The Rock versus John Cena. Just one of the most anticipated matchups of the year. But now it's that meme would have made sense if we were undefeated or if we were in this losing streak. So I'm glad that it makes sense for both. Aaron, do you have anything you want to get off your chest?
Not really. I'm good. I do have one more question for Gunnar though, just purely because I'm very curious about the coaches of this squad. Do you interact with the coaches very much? Like, do you talk to them frequently?
Yeah, I mean, I in a professional setting, of course.
Right.
I download POs for coaches' film and stuff like that.
Okay.
But,
okay.
I have very short conversations with them.
Yeah.
Mostly the offensive coaches, so position coaches, Arbuckle. Kind of those kind of coaches.
If you could have a beer with one of them, like really badly, like outside of work, if you could go have a beer and hang out with them for like a night, like take them on the town in Pullman, who would you want to go out with and why?
I say it's a tie. I'd say it's a tie between. It's a 3-way tie because I think I like both of these coaches for different reasons. I would say our running backs position coach Atawaya. I would say Nick Edwards, our receivers coach, and then Ben Arbuckle. And kind of Atawaya is just such an intense guy. It'd just be kind of interesting to see what he's like, with outside of a practice setting.
Yeah.
Because he's like always yelling, and then he's very calm with us. So it's kind of weird in that sense. And Edwards, the receiver coach, is very chill. He's a very chill guy, so he's a very down to earth guy. I really like him. And then Arbuckle, he's the youngest offensive coordinator, all Power 5. He relates to us, and he does young people stuff. Like he goes out, he does all that fun stuff. So I mean, I could just relate to Ben Arbuckle on a more personal level than most of the other coaches.
That's fair. That's dope, though. That's dope.
Nice.
That's dope.
I got something I want to get off my chest real fast. Nothing too like crazy.
I'm just gonna.
No, I watched 2 volleyball games this weekend by the Washington State Cougars. One not so great. One was incredible. One was a 5-set win. The other was a 4-set loss, I believe.
I think it was a 5-set loss.
Or 5-set loss. Yeah. So both were good games. Both times the Cougs were they were pretty much in it. But man, that UCLA game, the Cougars they were not hitting the ball hard. And it was annoying me so much because UCLA had every stop to pull for every little dink and dunk, little like patsy, just like, oh, I'm going to just tip that ball over. Like they were handling that so much, and then they were just drilling the ball against the Cougars. All right. So I'm just going to say this. Cougars, from now on, hit the ball like a woman. Hit it hard. All right. Hit it like I know you're capable of. Hit it like I saw you do in practice that terrified me watching that up close. Okay? Dude. We were like 2 feet away from that, and I felt the ball whiz by my head at one point. I have never been more afraid in my life. I called a game with Trevor Junt one time at like right on court side, and a ball went in between both of our heads mid-call, and we thought our life flashed before our eyes mid-call. It was the most terrifying thing ever. So hit the ball like that, please. Stop with the dink and dunk. Do what you do best. Hit that ball like I know you can. There we go. That's my rant.
Nice.
But you guys want to talk volleyball real fast?
Yes, let's talk about it.
All right. Senior weekend, or senior week, I should say, for some of the most iconic players in Washington State volleyball history. I know that all three of us have had really good personal interactions with this team, and we've worked with Coach Greeny all the time, and just we've seen up close the culture that she has created for this team, and the way that she convinced all of these girls to stay in for their 5th year to make a run for a top 10 team and make themselves a perennial program and make themselves a powerhouse in the NCAA volleyball world. So it's been really fun to watch, and I really appreciate that I've gotten to watch all these girls over the years just become just such a gel and come together and make some of the best athletics that I've seen over the years. So to all the seniors that are graduating this upcoming time, I know your time's not done, but thank you for everything that we've gotten to watch over the years. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, that was one of the most electric calls that Derek and I had, was that game. Like the intro to the show was at that a decent chunk. I think most of that, or Derek's half, was at that volleyball game.
It was, yes.
And then mine was the Apple Cup, but yeah, they're legit. They're basically the only case for Washington State to stay in a Power 5 conference is our volleyball team, is because they're the only real good sports program right now, besides maybe women's basketball. But everything else just kind of hit the fan, I think. Gunnar, I've said this before, and I don't want to offend you because I know you work for them, but I think we should just cut football at this point, because it's taking on too much, and it's the only thing that gets so much national attention. It's the only sport that gets this much national attention, and it just puts Wazoo in this awful light. So if we cut them, if we think about it theoretically, we can just promote the other good sports, and then we'll have a case to be a Power 5 school.
You could do that, but I mean, college. I mean, if you look at every conference realignment thing, it's just based on the football team, man.
I know, dude. It's stupid.
It's stupid at this point.
I know there's not, but it's stupid.
Dumb.
It's so
dumb.
stupid.
It's dumb.
Except for maybe some of those Big East schools, where basketball is life over there. Like Nova and Purdue and some of those other massive big schools that were every person on that team averages 6'10". Oh my God. Zach Wilson just threw a pick. Sorry. And yeah, that's because nobody really gives a does Villanova even have a football team? Gonzaga doesn't have a football team.
No, I don't know if Villanova has a football team.
Yeah.
Gonzaga definitely doesn't.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Well, yeah, I know Gonzaga doesn't, because they said I saw a T-shirt there when I toured Gonzaga that said their football team's been undefeated since 1953. So it's whatever. It's
that is the lamest joke that every Gonzaga alum makes.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
We have a better record than the Cougars. Shut up.
Shut your mouth.
I hate Gonzaga.
You hate Gonzaga?
Always have. Always have and always will.
I have too.
Why do you guys always hate Gonzaga? Hold on. Let's tell me about this, please.
I just think
always the bridesmaid and never the bride. Okay, yep. And you act like you are the greatest thing since sliced bread when all you do is just play the weakest teams in the world to give yourself a number 1 ranking every year, just for you to lose by the time the Sweet 16 comes around. Quit pretending you're winners and actually play some real teams and beat them in the regular season.
I've never invited to tournament conference.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I do agree that it's dumb that they're in. What conference are they in?
They're like in the WCC, I think it's
That's what it is. Yeah, WCC. I don't like Drew Timmy. He's one reason I didn't like Gonzaga for a little bit. I was sick of seeing his ads for that stupid casino whenever I was watching.
Oh my god,
anything.
dude! It was overplayed like 8 times.
Every single game. Northern Quest Casino. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah,
man.
I will say I like when they did make it to the national championship, and I guess like the reason I don't like them is because they can never back up their talk, and like I think the year where they had the best offense ever, I bought in. I was excited. I picked them to win it the whole thing on my bracket, and then they played Baylor and looked like a bunch of like high schoolers out there that never touched the basketball. Like I get Baylor had a great defense, but like yeah, if you're gonna call yourselves the best show on the court, you got to show up, and like. I just thought, like, even after they lost, they were very unprofessional about it. Timmy was just bringing up the refs after the game. I just didn't like that, and
it's very prep kid behavior out of like
it's just like
grown men. Yeah,
they expect to just like play the shoot, like just shoot it and it goes in. Like Baylor was like nitty and gritty with it. Like they grinded the ball.
Baylor basketball is different,
and like they just killed them, and it was like hard to watch. And then just seeing them how immature, like you guys didn't adjust. That's on you. Like, I don't know. But, like, I haven't really followed much college basketball since then, so I need to, like, other than the Cougs, obviously.
Right.
So I need to follow. Maybe I'll like the new Gonzaga team. I know they have a lot of new recruits, and they're kind of underdogs this year with, like, they don't have top players like they used to. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they do this year.
I think so, too.
Another reason I hated Gonzaga, I just remembered this story. So the worst English class I ever had in high school with like the meanest teacher on the world, Miss McMillan. I'm talking to you. You were the worst. I'll out her on this podcast. I don't care if she hears it. Absolute worst teacher I ever had. But the one fun thing we got to do that entire time was, fill out the school-wide bracket for the NCAA tournament. That like if your homeroom class won the bracket, you got a pizza party. Well, my class put that responsibility upon me to fill out the bracket. All right, because they knew I knew the most about sports in that class, and I picked Gonzaga to win it all, and they lost in the second round that year when they were ranked number 1 in the nation. All right, so Gonzaga kept me from the one fun thing I could have ever had out of that awful class, and now. And I've hated you ever since. I was about 15 years old. Miss
McMillan, I think some of this hatred is more directed at Gonzaga than you because, but clearly he was frustrated with you, so you need to take awful. A hard look at yourself and ask what you did wrong to just traumatize Derek.
It's been years since then, so maybe she's changed up her curricular activities and
curricular activities. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, maybe changed her outlook on the class.
There's a reason everyone called her Miss McVillain. So
yeah, that's fair.
Wow,
that's,
what a nickname.
That's a hell of a nickname. Honestly, that's kind of badass. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. So Gunnar Scott Miller, you're. When did you start like having people call you by like, or did people just start calling you Gunnar Scott Miller out of nowhere and you just kind of rolled with it?
It was definitely Cable 8 that really started it.
Yeah.
Some people would say it as a joke, and I was just like kind of brush it off and I was like,
Yeah.
But more as I've gone, it's just, Cable 8 kind of really made that brand really true. And, definitely the class of, I would say, 2022 through 2023, like spring 2023 and fall 2022. Very, very much made that a big thing. And I think it came more apparent when I think it was like the main people that were doing was Derek and Colleen at meetings, and like it really just stuck. And then like everyone just started calling me that. So like I'd say probably Dame, Colleen, and Derek kind of made it really an apparent thing.
Well, it was just one of those things. It just rolled off the tongue so well,
and especially roll off the tongue so well.
Especially when you're like on a show with Gunnar and you're just thinking like, it's like one of those like it's like the Stephen A. Smith of the world, or like,
exactly.
It's one of those type like just Gunnar Scott Miller. It's not just Gunnar Miller. Like
it is.
Like anyone could be named Gunnar Miller, but Gunnar Scott Miller. Ooh, it's just that's original. We like that.
It is. We do like it. And so today, for when we have our guests on, I'd like to do trivia. And so the trivia game I've created today is you have to name the athlete, and all of these athletes have 3 names or a hyphenated name, like Gunnar Scott Miller.
Oh.
So I'm going to give you guys some questions. Oh my gosh. And we are going to see what happens here. Okay. So like, you'll write down the answers here, because we tried this last time and both saying it at the same time. I couldn't keep track of who was winning. So first question, this is this player's first year in the NFL and was drafted in the first round by an NFC West team. So first person to write down the answer and hold it up.
Man, I probably don't have
NFC
any
West. Oh, Gunnar, you know exactly who it is.
I don't know how to spell his last name, but Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, Jackson Smith and
clue.
Jigba.
Yeah, he beat me to it. Dude, why did I forget we had freaking two pick? Why do I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is a freaking second-round pick? I was like, Witherspoon? Oh, my gosh. That's embarrassing.
Oh, man.
Witherspoon? Okay, so next question. So Derek's up 1-0. This player played in the NBA for 18 years, from 1999 to 2017. He played for the Bulls, the Pacers, the Kings, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Knicks, and then the Lakers again.
Meta world peace.
Holy
Damn, I didn't get to write this. That's insane. I was still hearing the teams he was listing off, and Derek's like, crazy.
Okay, bonus points, Derek. I'll give you an extra point if you can give me what he changed his original name was.
Run our tests. Come on.
All right.
That's wild.
Damn.
Come on.
Okay. This one is going to be interesting. So, this player averaged 26.4 points a game, has been a cultural ambassador for the United States of America, has a black belt in Shotokan karate, and is also a best-selling author.
Wow.
Derek, before you hold yours up, I want to see what Gunnar guesses. Before you hold yours up, Derek, I just want to see what Gunnar guesses. I know you know it. I know you know it, too.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. What was it that gave it away?
I'm going to be wrong. Shaquille O'Neal.
Derek, go ahead and give us the right answer.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, my God. That's
Damn,
crazy.
he's on fire.
It was the ambassador for the United States.
Okay.
Actually, no, that's wrong. The black belt. Black belt was what gave.
How did you know that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had a black belt?
Because he starred in Game of Death with Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee destroyed him. And I knew that he was a black belt because this dude used to whoop ass on the court too. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
That's incredible. My goodness.
This man got movie knowledge too.
Yeah, seriously. Gunnar, I wasn't trying to aim that for Derek. I really wasn't. I promise you.
Well, basketball knowledge, Derek's got me beat.
Yeah, that's fair. The only clue I have is TikTok star.
But that's not hyphenated. Oh, I know. I feel like I know who it is. Oh,
Hold on. Wait, Derek, hold on.
I got
Okay, Derek finished writing it first.
ah,
But I want to see what you wrote, because I want to see if you got it right.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Wonderful.
Okay, all right. Last one. This is still one. This guy's still in the NBA. Has a game high of 48 and earned Rookie of the Year in 2015.
2015.
2015. Man, that seems so long. Well, it was.
I was a junior in high school. Who would that have been?
Old head.
Oh my God. Is this?
I have no clue. So, Derek, if you got it, take a shot at it, man.
God. If I got this right, I swear to God, is it Michael Carter Williams?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh.
You guys are gonna kick yourself. Let me just tell you who he was drafted by, and then I'll see if you guys can write it down. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh,
No. Okay.
I got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, got it first.
You get
Carl
it
Anthony
first.
Towns.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't even know
That
he
was
won
it.
Rookie of the Year, though. I thought he was like a late
No.
bloomer. Never mind.
Well,
Nah, dude.
He was the
Oh,
only
wait, he was a
good-
dog at Kentucky.
He started 82 games. All 82 games, he averaged 18.2 points and 10.5 rebounds. Dude was insane his rookie year.
He was the only good rookie that year. That was
Yeah.
the thing about him. I think the year before in like 20, I think it was either 2014 or 2013. It was Michael Carter Williams, and that was a terrible draft.
Dude, he averaged like 26 points a game in his first two games and had like 10 rebounds a game.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, in his first game, he had 14 points and 12 rebounds. In his second game, he had 28 and 14.
It's just crazy that how NBA like draft classes can either just be a hit or an absolute.
Oh, I know.
miss.
I know.
Like
It
the
depends on the year.
like the 2003 draft class is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like it's LeBron, Wade, Bosh, Carmelo are like all in that one draft.
Yeah.
That's insane. And like I don't even think I'm naming everybody in that one either. So, oh my god, good game, good game.
Good game. Well played.
Good game. That was all I got. I mean, I didn't expect Derek to just absolutely wipe the floor with Gunnar.
You know, I got 2, so I'm okay with it.
You should be okay with it. Like,
I'll take what I can get.
that was fun. We'll have you on again. And I'll have a different game, and then we'll give you. I'll tailor it around like the Mariners or something. We can.
For sure.
Yep.
Ooh, that might be a good thing either.
I did want to talk about one thing. I heard something like about the Mariners that Juan Soto is. I heard a rumor that Juan Soto might like be coming, like has been talking to Seattle. Have you guys heard that same thing?
I haven't heard that.
I've heard he's a target, but like I haven't heard that there's like anything remotely close to it.
Oh, maybe yeah.
But,
Maybe
like,
he's just a
I know we're willing to give up. Like we would be willing up to give up a starting pitcher, which like, I mean, dude, it's at the point where I'm sick and tired of watching my team put up 1 run or 2 runs, and like I'm gonna be honest, like. When we missed the postseason this year and seeing Texas win it after nearly 4 games sweeping them to make the postseason, like, dude, I don't know. That just was frustrating because, like, man, like, Texas is good. Don't get me wrong. But, like, with our pitching staff, dude, like, we could have carved any team up this year in the postseason.
Yeah.
If our second base issues weren't a thing and left field, dude, like, let me ask a question. Okay,
Yeah,
actually, let me answer this question first. I think we can get Juan Soto if Stanton actually decides he cares about this baseball team and will put in the effort.
Fair.
My other question is it time to let Jared Kelenic walk?
100%.
You think so?
Yes.
I think so.
I haven't been on the Jared Kelenic hype train in a minute, dude. Like ever since like he had that streak where he had like 40 at bats in a row without a hit or something like that. Wasn't there something?
I believed in the guy, but you know, when you're frustrated and you decide, you know, you're bigger than the team and you break your foot, in frustration after striking out to one of the best closers in baseball, like, dude, no one was touching that guy that night.
Yeah,
the Minnesota, I forget his name, the Minnesota Twins closer who tops like 105.
Oh yeah, is that dude from Tennessee or whatever?
Yeah, he's freaking insane.
Yeah.
No one's touching him.
Yeah, he can't be that pissed off at himself for not hitting a 105-mile-an-hour fastball. The odds of you hitting a 102-mile-an-hour fastball are ridiculously hard.
Yeah,
like I don't know, man.
Yeah. Jared Kelenic did all he needed to do for this team when he got the Mariners out of Robinson Cano's contract. And after that, anything else he would have done would be bonus at this point.
Yeah,
so I'm okay with letting him walk. I have no issue with that. But man, we need a bat so badly.
Yeah,
dude.
Whether we like it or not, he did help end the drought in some sense.
Yes.
To a certain degree, he did. Yeah,
to a certain degree, yes. And like every player did their part, and like we broke the. You know, I'm glad we're not sitting here talking about going on to 23.
Oh, 100%.
Like, yeah, we could talk about that, but man, it's tough. It's tough. All my friends are straight poverty.
defensively, he was always solid. I liked what he did out in the field, but he just could never get that back going. Let's see. Like, I kind of have a feeling the Mariners probably aren't going to let him walk, though, because I feel like Jerry Dipoto, if he made a trade for a guy, he kind of likes to see like if he can squeeze as much as he possibly can out of the guy.
He loves platoon bats. He loves to platoon players.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Platoon, so like, you'll have Kelnick bat against just strictly righties, and then you get a platoon.
Oh.
That's what they tried doing with AJ Pollock this year.
Okay,
was have him and Kelnick be a platoon bat duo.
Interesting.
So have Kelnick against just strictly righties, and then
Okay.
AJ Pollock against lefties, because AJ Pollock's like against lefties was insane before he came.
Yeah.
And like it's hard to bring in free agents and trade pieces when your ballpark is one of the hardest to hit in.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of the year, it's like consistently 40 to 50 degrees a game, which cold does not help at all.
And Ichiro still hit 300 for an entire year. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Sorry.
crazy.
Continue. Keep going.
No,
Hardest place to hit.
You're right. I mean, you have to be a different breed to consistently hit in that ballpark.
You do.
Yeah, 200 hits a year for a decade.
Dude,
that's absolutely insane.
It's those are numbers that video games put up. It's stupid.
It's like
Ichiro was just
when I put my MLB The Show in rookie mode so I can just get my stats up,
Exactly. Or when I want to crush the Astros when I feel crappy after losing to them, just make them all suck and then just put up 40 on them.
But yeah,
180 to 0. Just
finalize your Juan Soto thing. I'd say there is a chance we could do it, but it means we'd have to give up because Juan Soto is a good bat. We would have to give up probably, we'd probably have to give up. I would say
George Kirby or Logan Gilbert. Gilbert.
I've been on this trend for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather give up Gilbert. I am on the Kirby train.
Are you?
I think
Okay.
Kirby has so much more upside. We need to protect him at all costs.
Tell me more about that, please.
I don't know. I just think Kirby and I'm basing this solely on the postseason, the 2022 postseason. But I really just like, I compared Logan Gilbert's, Houston start to George Kirby's Houston start in the ALDS. Logan Gilbert struggled. I mean, it's either Logan Gilbert is hot or he just struggles to find any sense of the strike zone. With Kirby, I feel like when Kirby struggles, it's mainly like he's not giving up walks and then hits. Like it's just an occasional home run off a breaking ball that he just misplaces. And I don't know. I just feel like Kirby can manage his mistakes better than Logan Gilbert. And in that playoff game where he went 7 innings against which was soon to be champs. Yeah. He put off, I think, the best pitching performance any team had against that team.
And we still lost because our bats couldn't do anything.
And we didn't, and it didn't do anything. But man, it showed that if we need him to pitch, if he can get people to swing on that rising fastball, it's over.
Exactly. And that's what I love about George Kirby is that right now he's our number 2. But if Luis Castillo starts to slow down a little bit, because isn't he getting kind of old? Isn't Luis
getting
Castillo
on the older side?
He's in his young, early 30s, mid 30s or something like that now.
I think we're reaching mid 30s at this
point. Let me just go. Hold on. I have his page pulled up here. I can just click.
While you're looking that up, I just want to say did you guys see the knuckle curve he threw?
Yeah, he's 30
in the last game of the year.
Oh my god!
The knuckle ball. Yeah.
The knuckle curve. Oh my god! It's one of my favorite.
If he can add that into his arsenal, dude, it might
unhittable. Because wasn't it also 70 miles an hour?
And he did that against Seager, who a week later was tearing up the postseason.
Yeah, wasn't his knuckleball also 70 miles an hour too? Way faster than knuckleball should be.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. And he did it to honor someone. That's just what's even... If he adds that into his arsenal, dude, I don't know, man. I mean, there's a reason, I picked up my George Kirby All-Star jersey when I went to the All-Star game.
Fair.
I am on the George Kirby train till I die. So I'm more biased on that. But in terms of starting pitchers, I don't know if you guys would do the same thing. Would you rather protect Logan Gilbert? And I'd honestly give up Logan Gilbert, Bryce Miller, or Brian Wu for once.
I'm cool. I'm cool getting rid of Brian Wu or Bryce Miller, but I
Yeah.
don't think those guys would be enough.
I don't think
You
it
know?
would be enough. We would have to definitely add a bat with like Soren,
Oh,
I'd say,
dude.
which would
What if-
suck.
What if we gave him like Logan Gilbert and Mike Ford?
We could also give them like those starting pitchers, and then, I mean, if they would want, one of our top
Jared Kelenic.
like Marte or not Marte. I'm trying to think of who are the two prospects who played in the
Cade Marlowe.
Cade Marlowe's good too. I was just talking about the two who played in the prospects game in the All-Star game.
Oh, the prospects game. Oh. I have no idea what the
I'm
prospects
trying
game.
to think on that.
Yeah, you were there. You know better than us.
I
True.
know.
Also-
but like one of those guys, like Harry Ford, or I'm trying to think of the other guy who's a center fielder, like a big prospect.
Another. Hey, I'll just say this though. Another thing on George Kirby that I really like, that kind of just showed like he's got that he's got that dog in him moment. When the Mariners came back from like however many runs they were down, were they down 8 runs in that Toronto playoff game? Was that how many it was?
I think it was
in the second game too. Yeah. And then they came back and they took the lead in that game. You guys remember who closed that game out, right?
Yep,
George Kirby.
Yeah. George Kirby's very first playoff appearance was him coming in the highest leverage situation the Mariners had been in 21 years. And he just came in and threw like 3 pitches, got a fly out, and it was done.
Yep.
Dude,
and I mean, you could trust him to close out a game in a tight moment, unlike another pitcher I know, but
Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray. Hey,
Let's give him Robbie Ray for.
Nobody's gonna want Robbie
about
Ray.
This with some buddies. They would not take Robbie Ray.
Nobody will
that's
take
something
Robbie
we have to really just like sit on and see what we can do with it.
Are we
because
just
no one's
eating
gonna
that?
take it.
Are we just eating
Yeah,
that?
we're gonna be
We're just
eating
eating
that.
it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we
Which
have
is-
to. No
which
team's
is-
going to eat that for us.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Which is fine. I'm honestly okay with it, especially since dudes tend to throw harder after Tommy John. I'm excited to see what he comes back with after he's done with that recovery and that surgery. Because he'll probably be coming in midway through the next season. So depending on what scenario the Mariners are in at that point, he might be a huge help coming in.
They're not
That,
going to.
midway point.
They won't take away Luis Castillo as our one, right? When he comes
No,
back,
he's number one.
Yeah, Luis.
Okay.
Luis
Too much
Castillo-
upside.
He better stay at one, dude. He's so good.
He was
He's so
like
consistent.
he was a Cy Young candidate for almost the entire year. So
Yeah.
like he's definitely the number one guy.
Yeah.
And then you have George Kirby, and then I'd say Logan Gilbert, then Bryce Miller, Brian Wu. You can interchange both of those at wherever. I hope Marco Gonzalez never touches a baseball for the Mariners again. As good as he has been at points, like
I hate
he
Marco.
just
He's
when-
the inning eater master, man.
But when he inning eater, but I don't really count it as inning eating. But when you give up 5 runs in those innings every time,
Yeah, that's exactly.
like, in every single like yeah, he's gonna eat up 6 innings, but man, he's given up 5 runs.
His
And
ERA was awful.
Yeah, and it was so annoying to watch. It like they labeled him as this like pinpoint pitcher, but it's like, yeah, but he throws 5 pitches that are just like 90 miles an hour right down the middle, and dudes just tee off on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing here? Why is this the guy that you insist on having on this team for so long? Like there's somebody else out there that you can trade for that will be a better suited than Marco Gonzalez. Please just get rid of that guy. Like he's old now. He's been through surgeries. He's done the best he could do on this team. And now just let him go.
And he got his money, his contract with
Yeah,
us.
he's got a bag, whatever. He can
Has
just
2
go
kids
retire.
now. He's got to start. His
Yeah,
family.
go start being a dad, Marco. Marco, just go be a dad, man. Your kids need you in their lives. Can we transition to the Seahawks, please? Because I want to hear what Gunnar Scott Miller has to say about this Seahawk win today. Because I'll be honest, I was on edge for a little bit. Derek, how much did you get to watch today?
I got to watch most of the second half today.
Okay. Okay.
And then bits and pieces of the first. So.
Okay. Before I get Gunner's opinion, I wanted to say just real quick, Sam Howell, he's kind of legit, dude. Like that guy he knows what he's doing, even though he's only a second-year quarterback. I think he has the potential to be a really good quarterback. Am I wrong by saying that? Do you think?
I think he has, yeah, he has sparks of it. I think definitely you are right. He's going to be their franchise guy.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be that franchise for a while. I think he has games like this where he just looks like he's one of the best quarterbacks, and then he has games where he just throws like 3 picks.
That's true.
Like, he is so hit or miss. But like I get that that's what comes with rookie quarterbacks. Like
yeah, it is.
And if he can play like this consistently for the year, like it's just gonna be between him and CJ Stroud for that.
Yeah.
And CJ Stroud, holy heck,
dude,
he is going
he's
insane.
a stud. He's a stud. I picked him up on my fantasy this year. Dude, he had like a 45-point game a couple weeks ago.
CJ Stroud. I know the whole memes with Ohio State quarterbacks, but man, he might break that curse.
I think he's going to.
Yeah,
I think he's going
good.
to. But both of you guys, Derek, from the second half, you watched. What are you seeing from Seahawks from this weekend?
Let Kenneth Walker cook. That's what I'm seeing. I love that dude, man. Probably like yep. There we go. Represent
K9, baby. K9.
K9. Oh, I should actually say Ken Walker because that's what he likes to actually be called by. So Ken Walker.
Oh, Ken Walker the third. All right.
Yeah, but that dude is just so good, and like we saw some of our usual stuff with Geno, and I am not on record as a Geno hater. Ever since he started last year, I kind of just accepted at one point. I was just like, you know what, this is the starter we're going to stick with for at least 3 years. Once he started last year, and and he's serviceable. I don't think he's ever going to win us a Super Bowl, but I think he's going to keep this team good enough to keep the culture, keep that winning culture, and keep the things that we like as Seahawk fans going. And like he's going to make his mistakes, but like we talked about last week with Bo, like he plays that FU football that he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like he throws some risky passes, but those risks lead to really high rewards, and you kind of saw that down the stretch in the game. Like those passes he was throwing to DK at the end, that was those were some ballsy throws. So
do you think he feels like required to throw it to DK to like keep him happy?
No, I don't. Because DK gets his, like he hasn't gotten a touchdown in a while, but you don't really see him like complaining that much anymore on the field like he was earlier. So I think somebody has finally gotten to him about it's not just all you. It's a team thing. We're all going to win as a team. Like don't do something stupid that'll get you some penalties and all that stuff. But I really don't think that he feels pressure to just throw to the open man, because if DK's not open, he's not open. So you're not going to throw it to him. And Lockett had like 5 feet of separation between him and every catch he made.
Yeah, he looks great today.
Oh, he always looks great, man. He just gets like every time I see him throw to Lockett and there's just like nobody around him. I'm like, how did he get that open? How did you let that happen? So if someone's getting more open than him, you got to throw to him. And we're introducing Jake Bobo into this lineup too, and JSN's getting some good catches now and getting some numbers. And the Zach Charbonnet also was. I think he probably had his best game today for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Just that north and south running that we drafted him for. So I like having that 1-2 punch with K-Walk and Charbonnet. So those were. I guess that's really my takeaway. It's just our running game looked better than it has in years in this game, and I want more of that because I grew up watching Marshawn Lynch. I like a good running game, so and then just let that complement the passing game. So if that involves DK or Bobo or Lockett, that's who I want. That's what I want out of the Seahawks. Just classic balance. Just perfectly balanced as all things should be. Like my favorite villain said.
You kind of look like Thanos. There,
man.
I'm joking.
Is it the chin?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the purple.
super.
Yeah, and just your whole purple.
Oh yeah, just the fact that I'm purple. Yeah.
Yeah. Gunnar, what about you? What were your takeaways today?
I think the defense has, like, you know, in addition of Williams, I mean, that was really cool to see him get his first sack with the Seahawks. I think, you know, defense is always going to be our upside, but they do struggle with the long ball.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with the safety position. And we have, like, you know, Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams. Like, it's just weird.
It is weird.
Like, we have those fumbles that, like, the fumbling of, like, you know, they throw the ball and then there's just completely blown coverage with the safety. Like that last touchdown that the Commanders had today. I will say, you know, offense has continued to be a struggle week after week, and, like, yeah, they pulled it out today, but, you know, we're gonna go play in LA and SoFi, and then we have a Thanksgiving game against the Niners, which at that point they will, you know, as Monty always says in the group chat, still in first place, but, you know, like, they probably still will be in first place by that Thanksgiving game. So the offense really needs to, like, clean it up. And this definitely goes for, I'd say, the two players that really need to step it up, Damian Lewis and Geno Smith. Yeah. Damian Lewis is very, like, small, but, man, every single game he has one or two or more false starts, just him alone, or penalties.
Yeah.
And holding. Like, it becomes a liability that just kind of kills our drives with Damian Lewis. And I get he's not in the best situation where Abe Lucas is getting banged up, and so is Charles Cross. Like, you know, it's just there that sucks. But Geno Smith, like, man, he has just made some poor decisions. I don't know if you guys saw the end of the first half today.
I did.
But, man, like, I know I don't say this often. You have to take that sack,
dude, and
just not throw the ball, like, straight to the ground. Like, I get you're trying to, like, stop the clock, but you have that time out there, and it was under 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And instead you get a delay of game because you were still technically in the pocket, and the 10-second runoff off the penalty, which just completely killed.
Sent it straight to halftime.
It
was such
going
a
into
buzzkill,
halftime.
Dude. It's
and
awful.
And everyone's like, well, you don't know if, my buddy was like, you don't know if Jason Myers making that. I do. He was elite today. Jason Myers might have been the best damn player on that field.
I think he was. I think
for a while he was the best damn player until the end of the game.
He absolutely popped off, dude. 5 for 5. He was 5 for 5 today, dude.
Yeah, he was probably the best damn player we had on the field. And I will say, like, you know, Metcalf had some great plays, but, man, his awareness needs to be better. You guys almost saw he didn't go down when, you know, he kept trying to run. And I don't know, I genuinely believe that he would have kept going if he didn't get tackled at that time. I don't think he had any clue, because this happened before where I think it was like 2 years ago when Geno Smith took over for the injured Russell Wilson in the Steelers game. DK wasn't aware how much time was on the clock, and he didn't run out of bounds on a play to end that game.
This was DK's rookie year. I remember this catch against the Steelers.
Yeah, and it was. I remember that, and I was just like, man, that he needs better awareness. But, like, other than that, he was clutch. But like, it all starts with Geno, and he just needs to be, like, you know, make better decisions. Which he did today. He didn't throw any. I don't think he threw any picks. And but, like, just like the announcer said today, he's had very poor awareness in the pocket, and not like normally, like last year, never a problem. He'd get out of anything and just throw it down the field. His deep ball accuracy has dropped. His sacks have gone up. So, I mean, going into these tougher games against our in-division games against the Rams and Niners, it'll be important that, you know, he steps it up a little bit. And I hope Pete Carroll brings that up, because, you know, it all starts with him. He's our guy. Yeah. You know, I'm going to stick by him, but I'm going to criticize when it's not going good. Like, it was frustrating today seeing some of the stuff he was doing. It was just, like whether it was overthrowing.
So avoidable. There's so many things that were just so avoidable.
Yep, and I feel like I think we could have won the Bengals game. I think we could have,
gotten a touchdown against the Ravens.
Yeah, I know, and it was just crazy, as how bad it had been. But I'm hoping this is kind of a wake up call. You're playing the Rams, and don't look forward to the Thanksgiving game. Beat the Rams first.
Yeah.
I feel like their eyes are on that Thanksgiving game, which it's big. I mean, I'm excited for it, but I'm a fan, so I don't need to worry about the team morale or any of that.
Yeah.
So,
two things here. First of all, Mark Sanchez is in no position to tell anybody that they don't have awareness in the pocket. He ran into his own man's butt, okay, and fumbled the ball because of it.
Did you guys hear what he said today live on the broadcast?
I saw you guys were texting. I did not hear that.
So, hold on. They're somebody on their defense. Oh crap. Trey Brown was covering. Let me pull up their. I don't even know who their receivers are. I don't want to butcher this because it's literally it blew my freaking mind. Trey Brown was covering Diami Brown. Okay. Who was their wide receiver for the Commanders. So Diami makes a catch against Trey Brown and gets tackled or whatever. And Mark Sanchez goes, "That's some brown on brown crime."
Man.
On a live television broadcast.
See, there's reasons that they need to start letting people with degrees.
Yeah.
With sports journalism degrees start announcing the games. I get having an athlete in that perspective. It went really well with Tony Romo, but dude, some of the stuff athletes be saying, imagine Marshawn Lynch on a national broadcast.
Yes, you can.
Unfiltered as hell. It would not go well. I don't know.
Are you kidding? It'd be amazing, but
it would be amazing.
It would have to be on HBO or something.
Yeah,
but
it would. Be.
I've always wanted to start. I've always wanted to start that broadcast of, just a broadcast where the announcers can just be as unhinged as they want to. All right, but that's for years in the future when we can finally accept that. But yeah, they're just letting anybody put a mic on nowadays, and why does Mark Sanchez have a job? It annoys me so much that this guy has one. This is a podcast about that was started as two guys who just want to announce games later on in their future. We don't have jobs in that profession yet, but he does. Come on. Do better, Fox. Do better, please. Hire somebody other than Mark Sanchez. And I feel like there's some guys out there that would be so much better in that booth. I get that quarterbacks are highly analytical and they can explain the game better than most, but man, come on. Just because you're a quarterback does not mean that you're a good analyst.
Exactly.
And honestly, I'm kind of done with the Tony Romo shtick too. I'm tired of. Yeah, no, I'm tired of.
Come on.
I am tired of this dude just saying.
You're not.
No, I'm tired of him just being like, "Oh, this is what's going to happen on this play," and then it happens. Stop spoiling the game for me, okay? Part of the thing I like is the surprise.
I know. It's crazy how much he just draw back to the right, and it happens. I'm like, dude, come on.
It's cool. What do you mean?
It is cool to an extent, but don't do it every single play.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're
it gets repetitive. I see both your opinions. I personally like Tony Romo in the booth.
I do too.
I think he brings a lot of good analytics, but Derek's also right. He gets really, really repetitive, which gets really, really effing old. So I think the Tony Romo thing I think has pros and it has really good pros and has really bad cons.
How do you feel about Greg Olsen?
I've actually really enjoyed his.
I don't mind Greg
analysis.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I never had a problem with it. And then once I saw he was on the screen, I was like, "Holy crap, he's announcing!" Yeah, I've liked Greg Olsen, and I just like the person that he is. He's a great guy, good at what he does. I don't know.
He did the Super Bowl last year. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
he did do the
he's
Super Bowl.
like his first few years into broadcasting, he got the Super Bowl. That should tell you how good he is. Mark Sanchez isn't in a
True.
Super Bowl. He'll never see
Nope.
one in his playing career or his announcing career. All right. No, I think I talked about Mark Sanchez at one point last week too. This is becoming a thing with me. I hope I never work with the guy because I'll probably end up liking him if I actually meet him.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But man, like I'm never impressed when I'm just like, because every time I can't take him seriously as a broadcaster because every time he's like, oh, he has no awareness in the pocket. It's like, didn't you run into your own guy? Like, was that not on SportsCenter, not top 10 for like a year until they just retired it? Because I'm pretty sure it would still be the number one.
That was a Thanksgiving game, if I recall, right? That was a Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, that happened on national television.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. Yeah. I remember I was sitting with my family eating dinner, and it happened. And my dad was like, "Was that a butt bump? Like, did he like run into his ass?" I was like, "Dude, I don't know." And we saw the replay, and I think the amount of laughter me and my family had cannot be matched.
It's great. Like it's I can only imagine.
I think Chris Collinsworth even tried to say like, oh, Vince Wilfork just threw his own offensive lineman into him, and it's like, no, he didn't. Vince Wilfork was actually in a rare position where he was getting overpowered on that play. So like he's getting like the guy was just standing still, and Sanchez just runs right into him, man. Like I can't. That play just blows my mind. I don't understand how you even do that. I've never. And then he fumbles the ball, and they pick it up for a touchdown. That couldn't have gone any worse.
It will never happen again, and that's as bad as it's ever going to get. We should take these. We should take these last like five or so minutes here and talk about the Cougs just real quick. Just Cougar football, because I don't want to talk about them for more than 5 minutes. It's Cam Ward was 34 of 59. That's like just over like 55% completion percentage.
Why are we letting him throw that much?
Why is he playing? Put John Mateer in the freaking game, dude. Like,
yeah, I mean,
and I'm now realizing that I'm becoming the group chat guy that's gonna piss.
No, your speculation, dude. Like, has every right. Like, I'm an offensive camera, so I'm not gonna say exactly what our plan is.
That's true.
Like, but I will say, John Mateer is important, and like they will utilize. I'm so glad they finally I don't know. I have never liked the John Mateer plays where he's just by himself, and just run forward because every
wildcat,
and I think having him with Cam now and doing a little shift is helpful. I mean, I'm glad
it's a cool little thing. Yeah,
I'm sad it took us 4 weeks to figure it out, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, more throwing trick plays with Mateer would be nice. Yeah. I know he threw that one play in triple coverage in that Arizona game, but we weren't winning that from the start. Yeah. Arizona's a different breed right now.
Yeah, they're insane. They're absolutely insane.
Delora was holding that team back.
Yeah, he was. He totally was.
I will say, it's just so crazy where we're at now compared to, man, I was rushing the field after my work. Mm-hmm. I rushed the field after I filmed the Oregon State game, and I was like, man, this is the best I've ever felt being a Coug, and it was cool. And then, it come to very unprecedented times.
Just ripped it right out from underneath you.
Yeah, I think after the UCLA game, I think teams found out how to play the Cougs, and I will say, and I don't know if this is out of line for me, but I just don't think there's been adjustments made. I feel like we still run the same type of things, and I think it's tough. Like I don't know what else it could be. Yeah. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I'm just kind of hoping these last 2 games will be entertaining because man, these are my last games I get to work.
Yep.
So, and it will be the last games I get to watch as a student. So it'll
take
be
it
interesting.
It doesn't necessarily matter if you win or lose. Just take all.
It'll be nice to see Prime in person.
It'll be
nice to see Prime in person.
That'll be cool to see Prime in person.
Also, Derek, I will get back to you. I don't think my buddies are coming up this weekend anymore. So think of my place as yours.
Oh man, Derek and Gunner Scott Miller reunited. I'm loving this.
Yes,
oh
sir.
yeah.
So,
and Gunner, we kind of got sidetracked a little bit. Do you have any closing remarks about volleyball? Because I know you've been about as close as both Aaron and I have over the years with that team.
yeah, I mean, I think it's been really tough to watch them recently. I mean, I get to talk to Magda every now and then about them, and she gives me as much analysis as she's allowed to. But
Yeah.
it's tough because I think genuinely, and this is without Magda hasn't told me this or anyone's told me this, but I think that them losing to Oregon in Bowler Gym really effed them up. I think losing to Hannah Pukas in Bowler Gym, it was just kind of embarrassing for the program. And after and like I don't know if you guys watched that game, but man, Argentina struggled in that game. I think she's actually struggled in a lot of games, and like I think a lot of the reasons in the UCLA game, after watching the highlights of why we weren't hitting the ball hard, she just hasn't been setting as consistently as she has been, and she's still like she still has a year of eligibility left, so she's younger and like she's still a little bit more on the inexperienced side, like, but she brings so much more to team morale, which I think is important. Yeah. Like I think Hannah Pukas would be a really, really nasty team, but the team morale would not be there, which I think is partially the reason we're ninth in the nation. Is how well our team clicks. And yeah, I will just say this: we're struggling right now, but if we can just win our last couple games and get a nice seed, because Bowler Gym's not going to be a neutral site for the game or for the NCAA tournament anymore, which is sad. But that loss against OSU sucked. After that, they were just out of a funk, but they're getting it back to their groove. I still don't doubt. I mean, we might be outside the top 10 after this weekend. I don't know. We'll see how the rankings go.
If we are, it'll be like 11 because
it'll be 11 or 12, I think, and 12 at the absolute worst.
I think UCLA is underrated for how I think they're actually a pretty good team. But
they are. They're a great program. They just are having a weird year.
Yeah,
and I will say, just for all the college teams out there, Wazoo might be losing now, but once we get a spot in the tournament and a higher seed than we've had in recent years, we're going to make a run. And here's my prediction. I'm going to say it now. Give me the Elite Eight. Give me the Elite Eight.
Oh, I like it.
Give me the Elite Eight. I'm going to speak on it. The Cougs will go to the Elite Eight. And then, from there it'll be history. But I think, women's sports in the last year for us have been really good. The women's basketball team winning the Pac-12 championship. Sure, why the hell not can the Cougs make a run at the Elite Eight?
Exactly.
Ben Greeny has finally put together her best team. Let's see it to the full force. And, I think, they're kind of done with regular season play. Yeah, they're ready for it. I think they are, and I'm excited to watch it. So
yeah.
You know what? I think that's a great thing to end on. All right.
I think so too.
You heard it here first, folks. Wazoo Volleyball Elite Eight, said by Gunner Scott Miller.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me on. I was really glad to be on this and get to talk some knowledge and talk knowledge with you boys. I really also, everyone, I really respect these boys. They're part of the reason, I'm at where I am at with that, their leadership has helped me get where I am and working for the team and all that. So these boys are the real deal. So listen to their podcast.
Hey, Gunner, you keep working. I can't wait to see what you
Seriously,
do,
brother. Yeah.
After this year, it's gonna be fun. Obviously, you are welcome back on this podcast whenever you want. You and Bo have both earned that right after two of our best episodes we've ever had. So
100%.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I will definitely take you up on it. And Derek, I will hope to see you this weekend.
Oh yes, sir. This is gonna be fun. Let's see Coach Prime in person. I can't wait to see that.
Come on. All right.
You can't wait. You guys just wait until you see the presence of somebody like that in Pullman. It's gonna be weird.
It's gonna be so weird. It's gonna be so weird. You're gonna feel it. It's gonna be weird, dude. I'm really interested to see, how much money that program's got. I'm wondering how much their coaches' film has grown. That's my thing.
Yeah, true.
I get to film at all these games. Dude, every team has better equipment than us, even Northern Colorado.
Oh,
I'll say it. I'll say it. Please do better. Our video
Kirk Schultz.
didn't even get gear this year, bro.
That's
We
so
don't even
toxic.
get gear.
I don't
Man,
know what
that's so
I don't know
toxic.
what Kirk Schultz has against the Murrow College of Communication, but like, man, that college puts out some of the best media people, even with like some of the worst gear around.
Well,
It's like I don't know how we're as good as we are with that. Like,
what's
I think it's
crazy
because
about
we
it
have to
is
do that.
What's crazy about it is they're saying I'm like one of the first people in Murrow that has been on Coach's film ever. Like,
What?
yeah,
That can't be
and
true.
I'm like,
Really?
dude, we produce talent, and they're like, and now they're telling me like, dude, let me like my bosses now because we're 4 seniors are getting recognized on Friday's game, and since we're leaving, they told Oli like my boss told me bring some Murrow students in,
Yes.
and I was like, okay, I'd be happy to, and I already have some good freshmen that are willing to do it be there for the long run.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
All right,
let's do it.
perfect. All right, and on that note, thank you for watching this another great edition of the We'd Like to Announce podcast. Aaron, where can they follow us on those social medias?
At WLTA Podcast on Instagram and TikTok at this very moment.
Right.
Having some technical difficulties with some of the production issues with that so far, but it will be fixed and will be up very soon.
Hey, there's some great clips I'm sure you'll be seeing from this episode and other episodes that we've had in the past as well. So
Yeah.
thank you all for listening. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Listen where in those 2 places you can get your podcast. Not everywhere you can get your podcast, but at some point we might be on that level. But thank you for listening. Have a good day or night whenever you're listening to this. Thank you.
Peace.